Sag. So I'm doing your weekly reading for October the 11th to the 18th, and I'm going to be taking a look into your situation, why it's happening, what's going on in your blind spot, anything that is working for you at this time, and of course how this is all likely going to play out as well. Okay, so if you just give me a quick minute, because I struggle to multitask. Right. Okay, surrender. Now, Capricorn has just had this one out as well. And it says, surrender to what is, let go of what was, and spiritual guidance, okay? So, surrender, release, cleanse, after a bit of a purge, okay? I'm feeling this energy for you, Sag, as a purging of anything and everything that is not in alignment with you, surrendering and releasing the past. It could be resentments as well. Okay, yeah, if you're holding any kind of resentments towards another, then this week you're going to be processing that and making peace with it, so that you can give it back to the universe where it belongs. Okay, strongest energy at the bottom of the deck is affirmations, and it says powerful intentions manifest now, so be positive. Wow. So this one would be, for lack of a better term, it's like the magician on crack. Okay, you are powerfully manifesting right now, Sag. So this purging that you're going through is necessary, so that you can positively manifest. Okay, I know that sounds like a lot of woo, right? And I appreciate that, because not everybody's going to have like the same belief systems or anything. Okay, that's not a problem. That's absolutely fine. It just basically means you're creating the best version of your life possible right now. Like you're actively doing that, whether you're aware of it or not. You probably are going to be aware of it, but that is what you're doing. And so what you're wanting to create, they say, is a lot like making a cake. Okay, you want to be conscious of the ingredients that you're putting into that particular mixture. Okay, if you get distracted even for a second, and say someone walks into the room while you're adding all these ingredients into your mixture, someone distracts you, they walk into the room like, hey, Sag, did you hear about yada, yada, yada? And it's a bit of like gossiping that's going on. And so because you're focused on them and what they're saying and what they're doing, you don't realize that you've picked up, I don't know, like a pot of pepper or something. And before you know it, you're tipping that into your beautiful cake mixture. Now, for some people, that might end up being the most delicious thing that you've ever tasted in your life. But for most normal people, that's going to be a bit gross. Okay, so just to put a visual to this energy here, because I have to put visuals to it. I'm not great at being able to explain things. Okay, several reasons for that. So I have to put visuals to the energy that I'm feeling, so that way I can be reassured that I'm, passing on that message as best I can. So that's what's going on with this surrender and affirmations. Okay, so again, for anybody who's like, oh, please don't use those spiritual woo words, okay, fine, not a problem, there's your visual, right? So yeah, let's get the tarot out and we will see if we can take a deeper dive into what is going on here. Can you tell us more about this surrender for Sagittarius? Okay, Sag, Capricorn also had this message out in their read, okay? You could be dealing with a Capricorn. You might have strong Capricorn placements in your own chart. If so, you definitely want to go check out their reading after this one, because there will be useful information there for you as well. I'm also getting through Pisces energy, right? So somebody is dealing with a Pisces, or they're needing to surrender and release a Pisces, or they're needing to make peace with something that happened between themselves and a Pisces. Just take it as it resonates, okay? Right, so you've got the Hermit that's coming out with this surrender. And this Hermit is all about you and self-mastery, okay? Mastery of self. It's a very wise individual. It's someone who is able to withdraw from external noise, okay, external crap. It's someone who's got a very strong sense of self here, Sag. And I feel that this is what you're tapping more into this week, is you realizing, okay, I don't have to be accepting of everything that's going on. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to focus on me for a hot minute here. It's not selfish, okay? It isn't narcissism. It's nothing like that. That's when the self becomes too important, right? That's when it, you know, you don't need me to explain it, okay? Focusing on self. And then you've got the Six of Cups in the reversed position. So there is past energy here, Sag, that you're processing this week. And you are processing it because it's in the reverse, right? It indicates that there was a situation that you were unable to see beyond or move past. Now, for whatever reason, you're going to have your own reasons, okay? It's going to be personal for you. I'm not going to get too much into that because it would kind of feel like I'm reading someone's private diary, which I don't want to do, okay? I'm just going to keep it to the strongest overall energies. So this week, you are making peace 100% with something from the past that has, up until now, been holding you prisoner, basically. Okay, that's why it's reversed. No longer looking back on the past with these rose-tinted glasses, definitely not, because it's with the Hermit, and the Hermit is in the upright position. So it could also be a situation, Sag, where you're reflecting on the past and going, that really was as bad as what I remember it to be, wasn't it? And then processing that, okay. Because I do feel a bit of trauma that's coming through, especially with that message of purging, cleansing, surrendering, processing, okay? All of that screams to me as trauma from the past that you're going to be working through this week. So, yeah. Let's take a look at why this is happening. Choices. And this one says, be courageous and listen to the guidance from your heart. Okay, so your heart is telling you subconsciously, okay, I'm needing to make peace with this now. All right, I'm needing to release this now. I need to now move on from this. Okay, and recognizing that, you know what, that is a choice. It is a choice. Queen of Wands. That's an interesting one because the Queen of Wands is very, very creative, very much focused on expansion, very confident as well. So something about this past energy that's been keeping you prisoner, it was having you hold back in a lot of ways, in ways which you probably shouldn't have been holding back, okay, because it had affected your confidence. And then you've got the Knight of Cups that's coming out squiffy. So yeah, a scattered Knight of Cups, emotionally withdrawn, right? This situation here had you withdraw emotionally, and quite possibly even from those who are the closest to you as well. Fear of getting hurt, definitely. Fear of getting close to other people. It's like self-preservation gone awry. Okay, that's this particular Knight of Cups, right? So your old survival tactics are no longer going to be required, Sag. Okay, so you don't have to keep everybody at an arm's length distance away from you anymore. That was your old survival tactic. It might have served you well in the past, right? But we're moving on from the past now, aren't we? So it's not going to serve you well going into your future, right? So it's time for, they're saying here with this combination, choices, Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Cups squiffy, it's time for you to start adopting new techniques, right, to build up relationships with others while you're still protecting yourself, okay? Yeah. Let's take a look at your blind spot. Cosmic connection. And this one says, divine support, vibrations are being raised. Keep going and know that you're not alone. Okay? So know that you're not alone. Know that you are being guided and protected. That message has been coming out for a lot of our signs this week. A lot of them, almost all of them, actually. So there is definitely heightened, should we just say, spiritual activity that's going on, where, guides, ancestors, whichever name you prefer to use, they seem to be getting more involved at the moment. They seem to be getting more involved and more visual, right? So again, I'm uncertain about exactly what's going on right now, but it seems to be, because we've had all these messages about like divine intervention that's been coming out. So yeah, definitely the spiritual realm is making themselves way more visible this week. So yeah, I'd be interested to know why. It just intrigues me, because that seems to be a running theme throughout these reads, and I am intrigued by that, and I always want to ask more questions about that, like, oh, why? What's changed? Why is that different? Okay, so you've got the Eight of Wands and the Four of Cups for your blind spot. Interesting. I feel like you've got energies coming in towards you, Sag, that you're not necessarily going to be expecting. Maybe not so much not wanting, because I kind of feel a part of you does want this contact, does want this communication. But there is this uncertainty here with this Four of Cups of, but do I really? Do I really? So yeah, closure. That's what's in your blind spot here, Sag. Closure. Okay. Somebody is reaching out and contacting you and offering you a bit of this closure medicine, as it were. Okay. Probably a little bit upsetting, because there is melancholy that's connected to the Four of Cups. Okay. I'm going to use a different deck for a minute, just so that I can ask further questions on that one for you. So who is it that's coming in towards Sag? Just $1 million question, Sag, that you're all wanting to know. Okay, well, who is this fucker then? Let's take a look. I don't know if I'll be able to get exact pinpoint details to you, but I'll get you what I can. Who is this that's coming in towards Sag in their blind spot? Okay. Magician reversed. Oh, an Ace of Wands reversed. Eight of Pentacles reversed. And the Ace of Pentacles. It's the person that you most wanted to be with, the person that you most wanted to work things out with. And again, for whatever reason, it just didn't work. Okay, Magician reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed. It's like false start energy. Okay. Possibly somebody that you met at work. Okay, doesn't have to be, but you do have the work card here, and you've got the Ace of Pentacles as well. Apparently this person started a new job. Apparently this individual is now able to support themselves, where when you knew them, or when you were speaking to them, they weren't able to support themselves, and they weren't really taking much of responsibility for themselves either, if truth be completely told. Okay, with this Magician reversed, Ace of Wands reversed. I am getting the message here of this individual was quite, well, I say quite, let's change that word to heavily. This person was heavily codependent on you, heavily leaning on you basically all of the time. And it was quite exhausting. Okay, so your relationship or your situationship with this person was quite exhausting. So they are contacting you. It seems to be that they might have left you in a bit of a state the last time that you two spoke. Okay, I don't know what that was all about, right? Because again, I'm not a psychic, I'm an intuitive. I can only give you what I got, okay? And that's going to be the strongest overall energies. Apparently, they left you in a bit of a state, right? Apparently, they left you feeling like you were somehow lacking in some sort of capacity, all right? That's all I know. That's all I know. And it does feel to me like the way that they treated you, it did shoot down your confidence levels quite significantly. So it's strange how we're starting off this week for you where you genuinely feel ready now to start purging all of that past energy and all of those past experiences. And you're doing it off of your own back as well. And then like midway through, maybe like 3 or 4 days after you view this reading, you get a message off of that person and you're like, whoa, that's insane, because I've literally only just started purging this person, purging this energy, and there they are. So it's not like you had this desire to purge and cleanse after they contacted you. No, it's part and parcel of everything that's going on this week. It's like you just wake up and you're like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to start moving on, and then boom, there they are. Like, it's kind of spooky when that happens, but it does happen for a reason. And it's going to be evidence for you, Sag, that you chose to move on from this. Like, you chose to give yourself closure. You chose to reclaim your autonomy, right? And the fact that they contact you after you make this choice, that's just going to really compound to you how much power you actually do have, right? Because you didn't need their permission. You didn't need their blessing to move on, right? You didn't need, after all that, you didn't need for them to give you closure, because you gave yourself permission to give yourself the closure, and then there they are. A little bit spooky, but you know what? I prefer it when shit plays out like that, because it really does drive home that message. I did that. I gave myself closure, not them. Yeah? Okay, so let's take a look at what is working for you. Nice celebration. Spiritual blessings are coming your way. Take your time to reflect on your achievements, and your work is acknowledged by the universe. There it is. So, yes, your hard work, your dedication, your spiritual studies, spiritual teachings, any and all of the above, the way that you choose to live, which is, of course, with integrity. It has all been duly, they're saying it's been duly noted, okay? So you do have spiritual blessings that are coming in for you. Now, again, I will take a look into that. I don't know how much I'm going to be allowed to see, but I will ask the question, okay? And I'll let you know the response that comes out. So what are these spiritual blessings that are coming in for us, Sag, please? Thank you. What direction? They're saying up. Up. Okay. The Page of Swords in the upright position. Okay. That one feels like they're saying be on the lookout Be on the lookout for what? Oh! Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what? Be on the lookout. Okay then. What are we looking out for? Oh, just the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, no biggie, Sag. Yeah, no biggie at all. Just the Ten of friggin' Pentacles. What? Okay. So, it could be a windfall for some of yous. It could be. It's definitely, whatever way you try and cut this up, like, it's definitely help in the physical and the material world. Okay. Okay. What else can I say about this? Blessings galore. Sag, you have been building up to ensure that you leave behind a beautiful, abundant legacy, right? And because of your dedication, part of the blessings that you're receiving, it could be exponential wealth for some, okay? It's obviously, that's not going to be for everybody, right? Use your discernment. If it's not a straight up windfall, Sag, you are being set up for life with this Ten of Pentacles. So look out for this opportunity that is going to set you up for the rest of your life, so that you can easily build up your Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so if you're not flat out getting this Ten of Pentacles, then there's definitely opportunities for you to create that, and they are saying look out for it. All right, that's all that I'm allowed to see at the moment. I'm not allowed to ask anything else for that, because I was about to, and they were like, no, stop. So that's what I got for you, Sag. Be on the lookout for this Ten of Pentacles. I mean, I don't think you're going to miss that, because it's not exactly subtle. Let's put it that way. Okay, it's going to slap you across the face like a wet cod. Like, you're not going to be able to miss it. End result. How this is likely going to play out, believe. Wow, okay. Give it all that you have. Release any fears of insecurity. Okay, so release any fears. I'm trying to see what else it says. Soaring to new heights of spiritual awareness. Yeah. I would insert a little footnote there, Sag, and I'll say you're soaring to new heights across the board, right? So believe. Because at the because at the moment you are making your beliefs a reality. You got the Magician that's come out again. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, do not get distracted, Sag. Do not focus on negativity. Do not focus on the fear. The best thing to do with negativity and fear is to acknowledge it, but don't get caught up in it. Okay. Page of Wands. Fearlessness. Like, all your messages here, Sag. You have nothing to fear. You have done it. You're doing it. Right? You have nothing to fear. This also indicates your limitless potential, especially when it's come out with the Magician and with the message for you to believe. I think, therefore I am. Yeah. That's pretty much your energy this week, Sag. At the bottom of the deck is the Page of Pentacles. Share what you have learned. Okay? I would say, because this reading is for the 11th to the 18th of October, anytime after the 18th of October, start sharing what you've learnt from this week. Share with others your experience and what you learnt, and help teach others to do what you're currently in the process of doing yourself. Okay. Right, let's get you a healing message. As far as it goes, Sag, that was quite a good read. That was quite good. Okay, tell me when to stop. One more. Okay. Inner Earth. There are solutions beyond what you can perceive. So that's the first part of this healing message, right? The solutions are not going to be immediately obvious. The solutions are not going to be what is immediately in front of you. The solutions are beyond what you can perceive, right? You will survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Surprising outcomes to your problems and situations. Resolutions to all involved and in the best interests of all. I would say that things are balancing out really nicely here for you, Sag. Okay? So trust and believe that this will be resolved for the highest good of all involved with this, right? Keep an open mind, because the solutions, the directions, the guidance, it's going to come from unexpected sources, unexpected angles, or perhaps even unexpected individuals. Maybe even all of the above. Main message this week, Sag, keep an open mind. Don't rule anything out. Just keep an open mind. Okay? Right, let's get you some messages from the universe. What else for Sag, please? Okay, sometimes walking away is the only option. Not because you want to make somebody miss you or realize that they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know that you deserve better. Yeah, it reaffirms that message that I told you halfway through your read, that this is coming from you because you decided, okay, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to start something new. I'm ready to give myself closure. This message, it gives weight to that, okay? Right, what else for Sag? Oh, okay. Apparently you want 3 of these messages, Sag. Right, sometimes you have to follow your brain because your head, So I'll start that again, Sag. Sometimes you have to follow your brain because your heart is dumb as shit. But sometimes you have to follow your heart because your brain is full of shitty thoughts. Yeah. It's a reminder that there's a time and a place for everything. And that includes a time and a place for you to, use your brain, and a time that's most occasions. There's a time and a place for you to follow your heart. Okay, it's for you to determine which one of those situations you're in right now. Okay, shitty people will never admit that they're wrong, and they'll always proclaim that they are right. So be the better person and stay humble when you're wrong and quiet when you're right. Okay, yeah, so resist the urge to tell anybody, I told you so. All right. Don't let anyone shit on your life. The shit that you've been through made you become the piece of shit that you are today, and that's some shit to be proud of. I love that one. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that reading has been helpful. For personal readings with me, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. My link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.